All right, so get this. We're going deep, deep, deep on this one.
I'm so ready for this. Let's go.
We're talking Fabrice Sawegnon built a whole media empire from scratch. And somehow even convinced Kim Kardashian to show up in Abidjan. Okay, now you're speaking my language. Building a media empire is one thing, but Kim Kardashian in Abidjan, color me intrigued.
Right. But get this total curveball. This is not your typical born with a silver spoon CEO story.
Yeah.
We're talking growing up with 16 siblings. You heard me right. 17 kids in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire.
Whoa, hold up. 16 siblings. Talk about a crash course in negotiation and standing out. I can only imagine those family dinners.
Oh, I bet those were epic. But seriously, though, that kind of upbringing, it had to shape him. And then to go from that to graduating from a technical institute, and bam, he's climbing the ladder at major ad agencies.
It's like he was soaking it all up, studying how the advertising game worked, but with this drive to actually, change how Africa was being seen. Totally. He even talks about it in his book. He wasn't content just climbing some corporate ladder. He wanted to define success his own way. So at 27, he takes the leap and founds Voodoo Communication.
Which, by the way, genius name, right? Is like he captured this energy and just unleashed it. But it wasn't a one-hit wonder either, Voodoo Group under his leadership. They were diversifying left and right.
No kidding. Publishing events. He even launched TV and radio stations. He had this vision board years ahead of everyone else.
100%. And this is where I think his whole approach to communication comes in. He says in his book, he saw it as a tool, not just about the flashy stuff, but about strategy and his work with Orange, case in point. But we'll get there.
Okay, so million-dollar question time. How do you go from 16 siblings to Kim Kardashian and Abidjan? Spill the tea.
So get this. It's strategic thinking. Next level. And a bit of, well, honestly, audacity. He connected Orange, the telecom giant, with Kim K, the ultimate aspirational figure, right?
A move. That took some serious guts.
And he pulled it off. Negotiating that deal. The logistics, the budget for it all. We're talking 75,000 euros just for her travel. But here's the kicker. 280,000 new customers for Orange in just 3 months. You can't argue with those numbers.
Okay, got to give him props for that.
Yeah.
The man's got vision.
Yeah.
But you mentioned he wrote a book. There's this whole philosophical side to him, too.
Oh, yeah. And this is where we get into mirror theory territory.
All right, break that down for me. Mirror theory sounds intense.
So imagine this. You're looking in a mirror.
Right.
But instead of your reflection, you see all your strengths, your weaknesses, your deepest fears. Laid bare. No sugarcoating.
Okay, that's a powerful image. How do you even begin to deal with that?
That's the thing. Sawegnon believes that kind of brutal honesty with yourself. It's the foundation for growth. He's saying by owning your weaknesses, that's how you start to overcome them. He credits that self-awareness for his success.
So it's not just setting goals. It's about this deep self-awareness. The good, the bad, the messy parts, it's all part of the journey.
You got it. And he walks the walk. But what's fascinating is how he links this self-reflection back to success, in business, in life, everything. It's like he's always checking in with himself, right? Like setting the goal, then being brutally honest. Am I actually on track here? What needs to change? It's less about beating yourself up, more about using it as fuel.
Okay, I can see that. But that's easier said than done, right? To really be that self-aware. How did he even learn to do that?
Well, he talks about actually scheduling time for introspection, literally putting it in the calendar. And you know what's funny? His upbringing with the 16 siblings might have actually been training for this all along.
Now, that's a connection I wouldn't made. You're saying growing up in that chaos actually helped them.
Think about it. In a big family, you're constantly surrounded by different people, different needs. To survive that, you have to know yourself, what you need, what makes you tick. And maybe that's where he honed those observation skills, the adapting reading people, which is super helpful in advertising. And, getting Kim K to Abidjan.
Okay, I see it. Now let's talk Voodoo Communication. It wasn't just about changing the advertising game. The man built an empire. Ow, that's cutthroat.
He actually calls it, get this engineered serendipity. Like luck is part of it, but you've got to put yourself in the path of luck. He was relentless. Opportunities, relationships, always thinking 5 steps ahead.
So create your own luck. Be ready. But he also wasn't afraid to shake things up right, disrupting a whole industry.
Oh, totally. Challenge the status quo, which ruffles feathers, let's be real. But he was also good at bringing people along, building those bridges, even with competitors. Always about collaboration.
Which makes me think about Kim Kardashian again. That couldn't have been easy, convincing a company like Orange to go for something so out there.
Right, but this wasn't a gimmick. Sawegnon understood the power of influence. This wasn't about selling phones. This is going to sound deep. It was about selling a feeling. tapping into aspiration, connecting Orange with that global icon status.
Selling the vision, not just the product. That's actually brilliant, but risky, right? What if it flopped?
Of course there's risk, but that's where strategy comes in. He assessed it, weighed it against the potential, and then went for it, which I think is huge. Being willing to take risks, calculated ones, not reckless. He did his homework, built those relationships, then made the move.
That whole engineered serendipity in action,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Creating the opportunity, then having the guts to actually jump.
Exactly. And that's not just business advice, it's life. Launching that thing, going for the promotion, even just trying something new, you know?
Okay, so we've got business mogul, marketing mastermind,
Hmm.
self-improvement guru, but wait, there's more. Politics.
Right. Renaissance man. And this is where that communication strategy stuff, whole new playing field.
All right, so tell me politics. What kind of impact are we talking about?
He's been a close advisor. Big names. Alassane Ouattara, who, became the president of Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay, that's huge.
Yeah.
What did he actually do on these campaigns?
Everything. Crafting messages, rallies, getting people out to vote. And again, you see that strategic mind at work.
Interesting. So same principles, different arena, understanding the audience.
Yeah.
But this time it's voters.
Exactly. And this is where knowing the culture, the hopes, what makes people tick in Côte d'Ivoire, that was key. He wasn't bringing in some generic playbook. He understood the nuances.
Fascinating. But politics, whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
High stakes can get messy.
Oh, for sure. And it's drawn criticism. Some say it's a conflict of interest, business and politics. But his view is, to change things, you got to be in the game.
So he's not just talking about making a difference. He's putting himself out there,
Yeah.
trying to shape the future,
Mm-hmm.
but also not shying away from controversy.
Exactly. And that's what makes him so interesting. He's not about keeping things comfortable. He's willing to challenge the way things are done, even when it ruffles feathers.
So we've got this picture. The business, the media, the politics. Is there anything this guy doesn't do?
He'd probably say his most important work is being a husband and a dad. He keeps that part of his life private, but it clearly means a lot to him.
Which makes sense. With all that other stuff going on. Gotta have that balance, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? It actually connects back to that whole mirror theory thing we talked about. It's not just about outer success. It's about living a life that actually reflects your values.
Right. Okay, before we wrap up, gotta circle back to something you mentioned, the criticisms.
Yes.
Because it seems like anytime someone reaches that level of success, people come out of the woodwork.
It's true. And it's interesting. He doesn't dodge it. He's actually pretty open about the fact that he's not perfect. Made mistakes, still learning.
So he's human, admits when he's wrong.
Exactly. Sees it as a chance to grow. He even says he makes sure to have people around who challenge him, push him. And not just a business life, philanthropy, everything.
That takes humility
Yeah.
to be open to that, especially when you're the one calling the shots.
100%. And I think that's what makes him a good leader. He's not threatened by different opinions. He actually wants them. Because that's where the good stuff comes from, the new ideas, progress.
It's like he's creating this space for real talk, even about the hard stuff.
Yeah, totally. And don't we need more of that? Not just in Africa, everywhere. Leaders who actually listen, who learn, who aren't afraid of the tough conversations.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive on Fabrice Sawegnon, what's the one thing you want people to walk away with?
For me, it's that feeling of possibility. Like, he shows us you can come from anywhere, face setbacks, and still achieve incredible things. He reminds us success isn't some straight line. It's about creating your own path, having those big, audacious dreams, and then going after them.
I love that. It's about deciding what success even means to you. Not just the money or the status, but using what you have, your talents, your resources to make things better. And we all have that power.
Exactly. Whether it's starting something new, leading in your community, or just being there for the people around you, we can all make a difference.
Powerful stuff. Fabrice Sawegnon's story. It's about hard work, determination, and believing in yourself. But it's also a call to action, a reminder that we all have a part to play.
So go out there and ask yourself, what impact do I want to make? What's my story? And am I brave enough to share it? Because that's where it starts. That self-reflection, that courage. That's how we find our potential. And maybe even change the world a little bit.
That's a wrap on this deep dive.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. See you next time.